Hi guys, the episode that you're just about to listen to is generously sponsored by our affiliates Board Game Crate. Board Game Crate provide a monthly subscription service where they get fresh new games delivered straight to your door. Just head over to www.boardgamecrate.co.uk, and furthermore, if you use our discount code UnluckyFrogIsAwesome, all lowercase, all one word, you'll get a cheeky little discount. It's easy to remember because it's true. Hello and welcome to the Unlucky Frog Gaming Podcast. You are joined by your usual hosts here, Josh Hartley and Ben Porter. Ben, how are we doing?
Doing good. I think we'll just go straight into...
Yeah, there's been a few bits of news that we want to talk about, but I think the first one, a sad note, really. Yeah. The founder of Chaosium Inc, Greg Stafford, has sadly passed away. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Greg, he's responsible for loads of games. I think the most famous one that he directly designed would be RuneQuest.
RuneQuest, King Arthur Pendragon, that's another quite well-known one.
And of course, the company that he founded, Chaosium, is most well-known for the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game as well. So
that's up there as one of the
the most influential. D&D,
It's up there as one of the big, great RPGs. So.
And, you know, he has been doing this thing since 1975, so he is one of the originals. So, Greg will be sadly missed by fans, and our thoughts with him and with his family.
Yeah. Bit of a sad note to start on, but it's sad to say goodbye to anyone in the industry. But guys,
celebrate what they've achieved.
Yeah. One of the greats. I was not, I'll admit, overly familiar with his work, but I don't think anyone can refute his legacy.
Exactly. It's a sad note to start on. But what else has been happening in the news this week?
So on a lighter note. Playfusion have announced the next cycle for Age of Sigmar Champions.
Yes.
So it puts paid to any fears that people were expressing about the pace of releases for the game.
Have they confirmed the date yet?
Late November.
Okay.
So
that's quite soon, actually.
Yeah, it's
that's sooner than I was anticipating, anyway.
Yeah. So, but it's right in time for Christmas.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Booster packs into stockings.
Yeah.
They've teased a couple of things for Onslaught. The first is the art for the booster packs.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Who is it?
It is for anyone that doesn't know,
the fluff fans of Age of Sigmar.
It is Lady Olinda, who is a new Nightvault character.
Yeah,
she was introduced back in July
when they released the new miniatures.
Yeah, and she's pretty scary looking. It's like I guess if you took Jacob Marley from A Christmas Carol, Miss Havisham from Great Expectations, and
just blend it into some sort of nightmare.
Yeah.
There we go. Delightful. Yeah. And that's what's going to be staring at you each time you purchase an Onslaught booster. So you'll probably want to open it fairly quickly.
Yeah, she's pretty. She looks amazing, but terrifying at the same time. She's got the veil draped over, so you can't see her face.
Yeah.
And she's all covered in briars and roses, and she's wearing the bedraggled wedding dress.
Yeah.
Well, I say wedding dress, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's like a white gown, anyway. Very creepy.
And I think the only other thing that they've spoiled so far, there's a new symbol that's going to be on the cards.
Yeah, it's...
I think we're just going to tell our listeners who are interested, just check out their Twitter feed, because that's where it is. I'm not gonna spend 5 minutes of the podcast trying to describe what this symbol looks like.
So to me, this is just a shot in the dark, but I'm thinking unaligned blessings.
Yeah, that's an idea. So we'll find out in good time.
Certainly, it would make sense because I think I was saying to you just before we started recording that outside of the Destruction faction, which we're not going to get into that just now, but outside of the Destruction faction, I think one of the things for me in the game that's felt quite askew is the balance of power as far as blessings go.
Yeah, there's some that are bonkers good. So.
Yeah. I think as far as blessings go, I think the Order ones in particular are a little bit lackluster.
Yeah, I mean, I'd never play as the Order guys, so...
But I mean, like, Death's a great example. That supernatural horror, I mean, that's pretty much...
Oh, the one that makes all opponent units dormant.
It's like
skip
great. 4 turns,
that's
basically.
That's great, I love it.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah. So, any other hopes for the new set?
I would really like them to do some Fire Slayers.
You surprised me, Mr. Porter.
Yeah. I would like to... I mean, it'd be nice if they had that, but I think it would be nice to see some new sub-factions in general.
Yeah.
Not just more goblins and skeletons and stuff like that.
I'm sure that's got to be on their radar, right? So, watch this space, and we will give you the updates as and when they come.
Yeah.
And I think finally we wanted to talk about...
I've remembered there's another piece of news.
Oh, right, okay.
So I'll quickly slip this one in there. We have a release date for KeyForge.
Yes! Excellent. When's it coming out?
November 15th.
There we go. Again, in time for Christmas.
Yeah.
Funny that.
Lots sooner than we thought as well, so hopefully we'll give that one a bash.
Yeah.
In due course.
Card game by Richard Garfield. I'm sold. So we'll pick that up shortly.
At the same time, though, every designer I think is entitled to a stinker.
Yeah, that's true. I've heard good things though.
As have I.
I have heard good things.
But I also heard good things about the next game we're about to talk about, and we all know how I feel about that. So
Fog of Love. Yeah. They're releasing an expansion.
Yeah, or they have a. So there's a couple things. First of all, for the new print run, they're doing a couple of alternate box art.
Sure.
Variants. Well, so one of them's going to have 2 dudes in the front, and one's going to have 2 girls.
Sure.
So sort of LGBTQ celebration, as they call it. But as you say, they have another expansion in the works that they refer to as a queer expansion. Okay.
So these are cards that are more designed for an LGBT relationship.
Yeah, I believe that's the idea.
Okay.
Personally, I'm a little bit confused by this because one of the things that Fog of Love was quite widely praised for was the fact that it was a fairly blank canvas.
Yeah, I think I remember the designer when he was being asked about this actually explicitly said we tried to keep all the sort of events and cards as neutral as possible so that it could apply to same-sex couples.
Yeah. Certainly the card templates as well are double-sided. So
the exception being having a baby. Well, even then, right? Same-sex couples can adopt, have surrogates. So
it's nothing to stop someone in a gay relationship from surprising someone with a pregnancy as well.
Yeah.
Fog of Love's all about the drama, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Obviously, what's reaction been to this?
Almost overwhelmingly positive.
Good.
Yeah, so
that's a good thing.
Well, this is the thing, right? Is it's Nikki Valens has been brought on board to design this. She worked on the new edition of Arkham Horror, Legacy of Dragonholt, amongst a bunch of other things. A very prolific designer. Just recently left Fantasy Flight and is working freelance.
Sure.
She said that when she played Fog of Love, that she felt that there were some things that rankled with her. So, like you said before, that's maybe something we're a little bit blind to, being too super macho hetero dudes.
Yeah, fist bump.
I couldn't.
No,
say that
you
with a
can't.
straight
No.
face.
But in all seriousness, though, it just exactly. Just because we didn't, that wasn't something that we considered, doesn't mean it's not a thing.
Yeah.
Clearly, if Nikki felt that way, then
There'll
surely
others.
other people have felt that way.
Yeah.
And this has got to be a welcome addition to the to the game.
I do have an idea for an expansion.
Okay.
This expansion actually adds a coherent story to the game.
We all know how you feel.
Yeah.
We all know how you feel.
Well, it's one of these things I just think, oh, okay, right, best of luck to them, because on two counts, first of all, this expansion isn't designed for me in Fog of Love. And I don't even like the game, so...
Well, yeah, that's I think that's the more important point. I was going to say, there's nothing necessarily stopping, someone heterosexual enjoying this this expansion. And of course, the internet, it has been largely positive, but as with any of these things, there's some ridiculous comment, and I think the belter for me has to be the guy who is outraged with, and by the way, when you're starting a sentence with, oh, what's next? That's a couple of rungs below starting a sentence with, I'm not racist, but...
Yeah.
Like, what's next? An incest expansion. And you're just reading that thinking...
Do you know what? There was a couple of incest comments, and I was like, where's this coming from?
How is that in any way, shape, or form a parallel?
Do you think it was that sort of hopeful way, like, what's next? An incest expansion,
Is this the guy who's watching all these... I hear on certain illicit websites that there's a craze of stepmother, stepson.
Yeah.
Do you think this guy's... He's responsible for that boom?
Well, someone has instigated the boom, right? And there's certainly a demand for it. Perhaps in the interest of representation, Fog of Love needs to consider an incest. I'm sorry, I can't take this. What are people thinking? Like,
I don't know. For any updates on the incest expansion for Fog of Love, we will keep you informed. How much of this do you reckon Charlotte will cut out?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's wait and see.
She might just leave it all in and go, like, make them answer for the stupid shit that they say.
Yeah. We deserve it.
Yeah.
So, there we go.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think that covers off all the sort of news that we wanted to discuss. So, what have we been up to since you last heard our dulcet tones?
Well, we last spoke about my first foray into the Nightvault.
Yes.
We spoke about you having a bash at it as well with the new warbands. So one of the things we've since tried out is seeing how spellcasting warband fares against one of the sort of
original ones,
melee-centric Shadespire warbands.
So I dusted off the old skeletons.
Yep.
And got absolutely caned.
Yeah.
It started off so well for me. It started off, like, I managed to kill your leader, like, pretty quickly as well, which got you down to 2 people, and then it just kind of felt like they just went, like, right, crack knuckles, and like, I didn't want to have to do this, and then just absolutely annihilated everyone in my warband.
Yep.
Pretty nasty.
This is where I feel like the Curse Breakers differ quite drastically from warbands with similar strength, like the Orcs and the Chosen Axes, where they're maybe a little bit more dependent on their leader. Mm-hmm. The Curse Breakers are 3 very good fighters.
Yeah, there's no... don't get me wrong, the leader is exceptionally good.
Yeah.
But the other 2 are very nasty.
Yeah. Like when they get inspired, each of them have got 3 dice looking for hammers. One of them's got knockback 1, the other one's got cleave.
Yeah.
So between the two of them, you get a couple of upgrades on them. They can handle most stuff in the game. And I think so. But by the end of it, you had 3 petitioners left.
I just conceded at that point.
Yeah.
You're not achieving anything when that's all you've got left with the Undead Warband. To be fair, though, right, despite getting absolutely annihilated, I don't think Magic is unbalanced in this.
No.
I think I think I made some tactical errors, basically.
I think we both did.
Yeah, I think I should have been a bit more conservative or a bit more wary of your guys, and just things didn't just quite line up for me. So
I think one of the things that tripped you up a couple of times was that the Curse Breakers have a really nasty upgrade that's available to Rastus and Amos. The Lightning Whip.
Yeah, that dealing that extra 1 point of damage actually is enough to kill most people in one shot. Yeah. So, that was horrible.
Yeah, but it's one of these things. I think even though people know it's there, I think going forward people are going to forget about it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they're going to be like, oh, he's fine. He's got 5 wounds.
The card's Dre. Yeah. Forgot about Dre.
But being able to, because she does 3 damage on her attack, so that lightning whip's going to finish off most things in the game.
Yeah, I don't think there's many things with 5 wounds as basic. Anything?
Gurzag and fuel. Yeah, fuel when he's inspired.
Yeah.
So that, like you say, there's not a lot. I think possibly Magor is a 5 wound. But that because all the Stormcast are 4 wounds.
Yeah, so I'm still looking forward to trying it more. There are a few changes I do want to make to my deck now. I think specifically the one that I clocked pretty quickly was Ploymaster and
Jewel of Wits.
Jewel of Wits get a lot worse now that some warbands are just packing significantly less ploys and more spells.
I think I think that's going to be a standard with a lot of the new warbands. Is that they're probably going to have 5 or less.
Yeah. So both of those cards get significantly worse. So I'll have to have a look and see how I adjust to that. But that's fine.
And as of this going live, I will have picked up the 2 new warbands.
Yeah, the Gobbos. The Gobbos look amazing.
Zarbag's Gits and the Eyes of the Nine. So, looking forward to seeing how they both play. And it's going to be interesting to see some of the new Universal cards.
Yeah.
As well. Because I think it's about 60 cards in each pack, something like that. So it's it's a fair amount.
So looking forward to sinking our teeth further into the Nightvault.
Yeah.
In terms of other things that we've been up to, I've been playing a lot more Magic.
Yeah.
Specifically Magic Arena.
Which is the draft, right?
Well, no, it's standard as well. This is it. I've managed to build myself a new standard deck. Which I'm going to write a little article about as well.
Oh, lovely.
I did steal the list off someone else, though. Sorry, okay. Ben.
Yeah. I am slightly disgusted with you. But
are you disappointed?
No, disgusted.
Disgusted, right. Okay. Well, I'll remain being a filthy net decker and letting better players come up with...
Yeah.
Do that bit of the work for me. But it's a blue-black control list, which I'm having an awful lot of fun with. The new set, Guilds of Ravnica, is pretty nice.
Yeah.
So, been enjoying that. Arena's really starting to pick up in popularity now.
Okay.
It's consistently getting into the top page of Twitch, which is
that's good.
Something, given that... Given that, some of those games are getting a ridiculous amount of views.
So it actually looks as though it's on course to threaten Hearthstone.
Well, so this knowledge comes with a couple of little caveats, right? One, it's known that basically Wizards of the Coast put what's called I believe it's called a bounty for Twitch streamers. So basically, they will pay you to stream it, and if you, depending on what your viewer numbers are, depends on how much they pay you. So, one of the Magic players that I watch quite a lot, Jeff Hoogland, he confirmed. I think he did 2 streams that were on the bounty, and he got something like $1,000 for it. So
that's all right.
Part of this popularity recently has been paid for, but that's fine. That's part of a marketing campaign nowadays, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, to be fair, at least they're being transparent about that.
Well, Jeff Hoogland's being transparent about it. I don't know if someone... Because this is, I think this is the thing that's caused this jump in popularity is it's not just the guys who were playing Magic the Gathering online.
Yeah.
These are other Hearthstone players, other Twitch streamers that are much bigger channels.
But this has
giving
been
it a go.
This has been a problem, particularly in the video games industry, is people not disclosing things they're getting paid for.
And they really should.
And there are a lot of things that I watched over the past few years, and I don't have any means to prove it, but there's things where people were not disclosing anything, but I am almost certain
they were being paid to be very positive about the game.
Yeah.
And incidentally, Jeff has since he's doing all of his standard content using Magic Arena rather than Magic Online. Most of the stuff he does is modern, so he's still using that most of the time. But he's been largely positive about Magic the Gathering Arena, and I do agree with him. It's if you already know how to play the game, it's great. It's great to learn the basics of the game. In fact, I was just watching before I came over here. Tolarian Community College, the professor did a little video about the 8 things that needs to improve about Magic Arena.
And what was on that list?
Better tutorial. Do you feel vindicated?
I do.
Yeah.
I feel like not just the tutorial itself, but I feel like there needs to be a better process.
Yeah.
For introducing people to the game in general.
Specifically what the professor said was, keep the tutorial going. The initial tutorial is great, and you said that as well. It teaches you all the basics of the game, but then they just kind of throw you out.
Yeah,
into
then
the
it's
ether.
like, welcome to Thunderdome, bitch. You know.
Yeah. Get ready to get absolutely pummeled by some competitive standard decks.
Yeah.
But that's another thing that they could do with improving on. Have a play style that is casual, or just the intro decks or something like that. Just so you're not getting pummeled by the more experienced players as soon as you get in. Another couple of things as well. The in-game economy is a bit off.
Okay.
There's something. It's little annoying things. Right. Bear with me when I go say this, right?
Okay.
Do you ever watch the film Father of the Bride? Steve Martin, when he was funny.
Right. No, I know the film you're talking about, but I think that I would have been of that age, like where my parents would watch it, and I'd be like, "This is boring.
Right.
When are they going to start fighting?"
Okay. Incidentally, never in that film.
Yeah. Incidentally, also, my perception of entertainment hasn't really changed that much.
There is a scene in Father of the Bride where Steve Martin's character, effectively, the straw breaks the camel's back, right?
Yeah,
and that particular straw is the hot dog problem, right? Why do they sell tins of 8 hot dogs but only give you a pack of 6 buns? Right? You've got 2 extra hot dogs, but that you can't buy just 2 buns by its own, right? And this is the problem, right? You have to buy the in-game currency gems, right? And they come in set denominations. But the smallest set denomination that you can buy it in doesn't get you anything. It doesn't get you anything.
It is completely useless. It's not even like a marketing thing.
You
could just ignore it altogether.
Yeah, you need 100 extra gems to buy some booster packs with it. And it never lines up with, like, there's no neat sort of... Yeah, I'll spend, because it's all in US dollars.
You can't buy a cosmetic thing with it or anything like that.
It's a case of, I'll spend $10 US and that's going to get me X number of packs. Like, there's none of that. And that's frustrating. And they also have the wild card system. So wild cards are cards of certain rarity that can be exchanged for any card of the same rarity, right? Which is great. So you got your commons, uncommons, rares and mythics, right? Because of how standard decks are built, I have quite a few mythic wild cards. Yeah. Tons of common and uncommon wild cards and no rares.
Yeah.
Because rares is the bottleneck. That's where most of your deck comes from. And you can't use the mythic ones to get rare cards. Which really grinds my gears. Because now I've got these 5 mythic ones that I'm probably not going to use.
Thing is, though, it's like... It maybe sounds trivial and people like, well, this is all stuff they can fix, but the problem is that in a lot of ways the damage is already done.
Well,
there are so many games, but there's so many games competing for your attention that you'll be like, oh, I can't be bothered waiting for this. I'm just going to go and play Fallout, whatever.
And look, don't get me wrong, right? You know, overall, it's great. It is a massive improvement on Magic Online, and they have said, oh, this isn't going to replace Magic Online. As someone who hasn't invested an awful lot of time and money into a digital collection on that platform, I kind of hope it does, because I much prefer this one.
Yeah.
But at the same time, these are things that they can improve on it, and kind of things like, why are you doing that? Like, did you not think of that? And with the thing, you know, buying the gems and using the gems to buy the booster packs, surely they've done that on purpose for some reason, to just get you into spending more money.
I think that you might be surprised at the amount of incompetence. Seriously, like I don't just mean that like in big corporations. I mean like in high level government, all that sort of thing.
This is one of the truths that you learn as you grow older, right? No one actually knows what they're doing.
Yeah,
we're all just winging it.
Yeah,
and I suppose that's probably true of some of the folks in the Wizards of the Coast.
So I dare say that there are some genuine errors, and people are like, oh, why have they done that? You know?
Yeah. So, but yeah, by all means, guys, check out Magic the Gathering Arena on Twitch. Download it for yourself. It's an open beta now. You don't need an invite. You can get on that whenever you want. And I'd recommend obviously watching the Professor's little video on it, and Jeff Hoogland's content is great as well. So and I will write that article about the blue-black deck that I've been having a lot of fun of, which very it was Jeff Hoogland's deck. So
there we go. So you get a very deep pool of resources there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the great thing with Magic, is because of how long it's been going for and how popular it is. You know, in terms of resources for learning, for getting ideas for new decks, there's so much out there. Like, and you know, the Professor does a sort of little shameless self plug in his video when he's talking about the tutorial, because he just says, "Oh, you can watch some of my videos on how to play Magic the Gathering." So
yeah,
there we are.
There you go.
So
well, I've not been doing much gaming this week, but what I have started doing is I've been building some Space Wolves.
You're going sci-fi?
Yeah, I know. It's mad, isn't it? So yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm quite heavily invested in Age of Sigmar. I love fantasy, settings. 40k never really grabbed me.
Yeah.
But Kill Team has really taken off in a big way.
Yes. A lot of our friends are getting into it around here.
So I thought I'll have a dabble.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a little squad of Space Wolf Primaris Reavers, which they're like shock troops,
Mm-hmm.
And they've got these really cool like skull masks, like half masks on, and they throw like flashbang grenades about, and they've got grapple hooks and all that. So it's all
I think the grappling hooks are the thing that I like the most.
So it's all shock and awe, and it means in Kill Team that they don't count vertical,
which is
distance.
Actually quite a big deal.
Yeah,
like that, because the whole idea of Kill Team is use a lot of terrain, right?
Yeah,
make it interesting.
So it makes these guys are pretty fast. They're good. But what I've also done to bulk my roster out a bit is I split the Tooth and Claw box set with Tom.
Yes, so you've got the Space Wolves half of that, obviously.
Tom's got the Gene Stealers.
So what did you get out of that then?
So
exactly?
I got a Space Wolf battle leader.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like the big grizzled veteran leader of the Space Wolves. He's got a big wolf pelt draped over his back and a massive axe.
Looks like some badass space Viking, basically.
Yeah, he's a really cool model, really dynamic pose. That he's just like leading the charge into battle, which is very Space Wolves. I also got a Redemptor Dreadnought. Mm-hmm. It's like a big old mech.
Yep.
You get a couple weapon options. I'm probably not going to use that very much because it's probably Kill Team that I'll stick to.
I think that might be frowned upon if you just dropped a Dreadnought into Kill Team.
Yeah, possibly. Saying that, I mean they might add some other stuff in, like maybe a monster here or there, because one of the things they've added to Kill Team is rules for characters.
Yeah.
So it means I can use my battle leader now,
which is pretty cool.
Which is cool. I also got 3 aggressors, which are kind of like Terminators.
Yeah, big bulky armor, basically.
And the main thing that's helping me really bulk that roster out is I got 5 intercessors. Yeah. Which are the sort of generic battle line guys of the Primaris Space Marines. So they've got different bolt rifles.
Nice.
So they're not as fast as the Reavers. They're maybe not as combat orientated, but it gives me a little bit of.
You need some guys to hold objectives at the end of the day.
A little bit of stopping power. Yeah. So I've got a good mix now. It's going to let me field a couple of different specialists. But do you know? See, considering the Primaris Space Marines they're like one of the flagship miniature ranges for Games Workshop now. I was surprised at the amount of mold lines on them.
Oh,
I mean, it's not horrendous by any stretch, but like compared to some of the Nightvault miniatures.
The question though is how old are those miniatures now?
Oh, they're
I don't know how old the designs are.
Just over a year old.
Well, that's very recent then. Really?
Because the Primaris stuff came out with the new edition of 40k.
Right.
Which was last
summer.
Yeah.
Summer 2017. So.
Yeah.
All right.
So I was a bit surprised at that. It took
you were getting your little file out then.
Well, I just used a knife.
All right.
It does
Hardcore
the job.
It.
Yeah, that's it. But I kind of expected to just sort of clip them off, pop them together.
Yeah, and
jobs are good. And I know it's a multi-part kit, right? So there's a little bit more involved in it. But it took me quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
To get rid of them.
That's a bit. It's annoying, but not a deal breaker.
That being said, there wasn't a whole lot of mold lines on the battle leader figure.
Yeah.
So it could be. I mean, like a year's a long time in terms of development. So it could be that they've maybe improved the process. Yeah. Somewhat.
And ultimately, it's probably more of a testament to how spoilt we are getting with some of the new miniatures that they're putting out, rather than because mold lines 5 years ago, Yeah, that's just a reality of the hobby.
Yeah.
So maybe we're just getting a bit.
Yeah, but it was interesting to build something a little bit different, but it really hit home to me how similar proportions-wise they are to the Stormcast range.
Funny that, eh?
They're just two sides of the one coin.
Yeah.
The Stormcast of the fantasy version, the Space Marines or the sci-fi version.
Yeah.
Because it's clever marketing, right? Because you've got a range that is a lot easier to build and paint. Because they're quite, as far as detail goes, I mean, you could paint stuff on them, you could do fancy effects and things, but the two of them...
they're pretty basic, though.
Yeah, so imagine trying to get a newbie to paint a Fire Slayer model.
No.
But it's because they're packed with detail, which is nice if you're a bit more advanced, but... Yeah, looking forward to getting them painted up and then having my first couple of kill team games.
Yeah, get some kill team in. I keep threatening on doing a Plague Marine gang for that, but we'll see. We'll see if I get the time.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I think that is all we've got time for on this episode. So thank you very much for listening, guys. Keep in touch, and until next time, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
We are Unlucky Frog Gaming, and I am Ben. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search for Unlucky Frog Gaming. You can also show your support by giving us money through the Unlucky Frog Patreon. And be sure to check out our website, unluckyfrog.com, to find out more.